Hello. Good morning. I don't really know why I'm doing this. I'm just out of my bed. It's 8:35. It's actually, I know it's cold in Thailand. It's cold for Thailand. It's not cold for us, but in the west. But it is cold. The wife's got the cats covered, the wee jackets on them. I spent a lot of time yesterday on TikTok watching all sorts. There was obviously the Trump coming into power, which is I think is a good thing. Don't get me wrong, he's a divisive person, and not everything he says I agree with at all, and the way he acts at times. But I quite enjoyed sitting watching him doing his signing off on all the legal stuff in his office with an open forum. I'm pretty sure I don't think any of the questions were audited beforehand. His answers are always, well, the way he answers things is the Trump way. But yeah, in Thailand, yeah, I mean, I've been here a long time now. We moved house a week's time. When we moved house in the second to Rayong City. We're kind of in the sticks where we are. I never put exactly where we are just because, for whatever reason. But yeah, watching some of the young kids. I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way. On Thai TikTok, you're like, come on, man. You know, going into 7-Elevens and saying, try this, try that. You're like, 7-Elevens are a godsend, by the way. We've got one just I'm killing me along the road there. Do you know what I would suggest doing that more than the 7-Eleven's a huge company. See this sort of mum and pop versions of them. Buy out them, give them the money because they've more than likely got that. But that's right. I was watching a guy last night, and he said, "Oh, you can buy, those the standalone water filtration for units, or you can fill up a 1.5 litre bottle for £1." Right, I work offshore. We've got those filters offshore, right? The same things. If they're not properly maintained, the water's if you don't change the filter often enough, the water you're drinking is pretty crap. Because see, when you take the filters out, and now our water offshore goes through RO, or we change salt water into pot water, we call it. Then it goes through that that filtration, that similar filtration. We've also got the UV light. And it's still not the best for you, but hi, that guy, those ones in the streets, I wouldn't use them. You know what I mean? And I've dealt with those filters and those kinds of units for 20 years. You know what I mean? And it's a bottle of water. A bottle of water is probably the cheapest thing you can buy in a 7-Eleven. If you buy the 7-Eleven's own water, branded water, I'm going to say something, I've got no idea how much it is. But if you're struggling to buy a bottle of water, there's something else. And there's another thing I noticed the young kids are saying about to get rid of a hangover, the powder you do use. We use them all the time offshore. And yeah, they get the salt, that's like tablets, what are they called again? The tablets. And the powder you put into water. I would use it's not hot here at the moment, but when it's humid in Thailand, I use them all the time in hot countries. That's not the best for you. Be careful with them. I would use one packet when you wake up in the morning, or one tablet, and maybe one in mid-afternoon max, because the medic on our oil rigs and stuff like that always warn us that just don't be careful with that stuff, because it can your kidneys don't like it. But it's not a magic potion or anything like that. It stops me getting cramp. It's annoying me. I can't remember the name of this stuff. I've been using it all these years. It's like a sodium thing. It basically salts, but it replaces the salt that you sweat out. And like I say, because sometimes when I'm on an oil rig working, you can sweat. I mean, I change my coveralls, overalls. I think the most I've changed them in one 12-hour shift is 8 times, just when you're absolutely drenched in sweat. So obviously you're gubbing, drinking a lot of water, and you put that stuff in. Another thing that, I mean, it's not the best. I mean, it's got more sugar in it than Coca-Cola, but it's my kind of go-to one as well in the fridge when I'm hanging out. But I know people reading this, well, that's bad for you. Well, it is, I know, but it works for me. But that powder and the pills you can get, use that. That's always a good. When it's hot, especially if you're the backpacker types, if you're humping about your backpack, it's all over the place and sweating, I would definitely be using them a lot. You know, it's people in hot countries use them all the time. It's a normal thing, whereas the lads and lasses I've seen over the last 24 hours using them, saying it's some kind of magic potion. It's because we don't really need them in the West because it's hot. Well, certainly in the UK and Western Europe, but it is a good idea. I mean, and there was another gentleman saying the price of houses, rents going up. No, it's not. Look, the house that we're going to rent, it's a typical 3-bed Thai house, 1 story, all 3 rooms, the living room and all 3 bedrooms. Air conditioned, 2 our bedrooms en suite with shower with a heating unit. It's 10,000 baht a month, and that's the first house I rented like that was I was in Pattaya, mind you. We're not moving to Pattaya. I think it was 15. You know, it's not that's wrong. The house, well, there's also depends where you are as well. But no, the house prices are the same. And he also said, if you wait a few months, the house prices will go down. That all houses, it's a minimum of a year usually that you're asked for. You know, you do see the odd one 6 months, but most of them they want a year. And I won't pay more than you pay the 1 month's deposit. Some of them want to, because I'll tell you, trying to get the full deposit back off people. I don't deal with that, to be honest. I let the wife deal with that, but you hear her shouting and arguing with people. But not that we've moved house often, but that can be a bit of a pain in the neck. But I mean, this is the coldest I've felt it in Thailand, which is good. You know, it's, let's say it's 8:30. What time is it? Right, what was that? 31 was 23 degrees, which I mean, it's 23 is probably the perfect temperature, I think, anywhere in the world. But yeah, and some videos I mean, and it's and I remember because I didn't take a break from TikTok. I just stopped watching it, if you know what I mean. And a lot of it was to do I think I just get bored of it actually. And I was going down a lot of YouTube rabbit holes, from Manson to Storm Chasers to SAS to, I don't know, all sorts of stuff. What was I going to say? I remember saying that there's this guy, I think his name's Tom something or other. I think he was extremely well off. And I remember saying to him, and he's on this, saying to him, son, you need to calm down, you won't last here. And his reply to me was, I'll live here longer than you ever will. And at that time, that was last year, so I've been here 17 years. Excuse me, if I'm not understanding now, he's got warrants out for him and all that, and he can't come in the country. And I thought, right, okay. Right, I'm not saying, just be extreme, you need to be careful what you say online on Thailand, because you've got the Computer Crimes Act, and if I was to criticise a hotel, say that recently on TripAdvisor, whatever like that, I'll guarantee I'm getting an email off them with all sorts of threats of this, that, and the next thing, you know. I mean, I never put reviews on hotels and stuff like that. Anyway, it's just whatever, you know what I mean. But and also, like, I know Thailand's my favourite place in the world is Hong Kong. Hong Kong is the best place in the world for me. I just love it. It's where East meets West properly, and it's got seasons. What a lot of people won't realise, that this time of year it gets cold. Like when I used to work there, you know, if I was night shift outside, I would have my coveralls on and a fleece on top, you know. But Thailand is a brilliant place, a brilliant people, and it's got so much. The food's great, the street food, and I saw a video yesterday, and the gentleman was right. People, because when you see the street food carts, if you've not seen them before, you think, oh, I'll tell you, there's only one place I've ever had what I would call food poisoning from, and it was a KFC in Pattaya. Anyway, it's not there anymore, I don't think, anyway. It's in North Pattaya, Big C, as we called it. I think it's called Marine something or other now. I was there the other week. I get in there and I was down for days. But the thing is, when you jump from country to country, your body is going to take a bit of getting adjusted to the water, even if it's bottled water you're drinking, and the food. Like I was offshore in Turkey there for a month, flew on to Scotland for a day, flew here, I got here about 4 days ago, or about 5 days ago, whatever it is. So I was in many flights, 5 flights or something, the chopper, Turkey hot to Glasgow, to Edinburgh, Glasgow to Heathrow, Heathrow to Hong Kong to here, to Bangkok. So that was 5 flights, and obviously I ate food in the different airports and all that. So, you know, your body, it's normal. Your body takes a bit of getting used to the food. And like I say, when I go back to work, at I think it's about the 9th or 10th of next month, when I got on the rig, because I'll fly Bangkok to Istanbul. When I got on the rig, you'll be at the toilet more often than regular, and it's nothing to do with the food as such. It's your body adjusting to the way that food's cooked. Does that make sense? Yeah. Oh yeah, and the street food is brilliant, especially when you're out on the piss. Like you just say, you know, it's great. It's absolutely brilliant. You know, just don't. If you don't want it too spicy, say like not spicy. They know exactly what you mean, and but yeah, and then please, it's the one that really annoys me. This one, please keep your tops on and when you're out and about, unless you're at a swimming pool or the beach or in your house, obviously. Thais find it offensive, and I know some will say, oh, you see Thais with their tops off. It's very few, and it's normally guys that are on the back of a wagon, humping bottles or kegs of beer into places. It's frowned upon in Thailand, and I know some of you will say, oh, that's a Thai, and they say, no, it's okay. That comes down to the Thai face thing. It's not the done thing to have your top off. I know the young team, all the tattoos and their MMA bodies and all that, which, I mean, good luck to you, you know, it's look fit. I wish I had the dedication that you've got, but please just keep your top on, like, you know. And if you do something wrong in Thailand and you kind of get away with it or that, if you do something wrong in Thailand, don't come on, and you've been involved with the police in Thailand, don't come on to social media and tell us about it, because the face thing comes in, the cops will say, oh, well, really? You think you've got away with that? And if they find you, it ain't going to be good, all right? You know, the only dealings I've had with the police in Thailand, speeding fines and a bit, I paid the fine and a bit of paper, and I had the helmet on off as well, driving about without a helmet, which is my own stupid fault. You know what I mean? And make sure your international driving licence, and in the UK, like I said in yesterday's video, go and get it from the post office. It takes you 5 minutes. Just have a passport photo with you, and you will be all right. But I would strongly advise you don't drive a motorbike over here. It's easy enough to get around, because if you come off it here, your health insurance ain't covering it, and you've got to buy a new motorbike probably. You know, because the people that rent the motorbikes, they've got people above them that have influence, shall we say. You know what I mean? You're not winning. You're not winning. That's what I'm going to say. But one trick is, though, if you do come off a bike or that and it's got a bit of paintwork damage, take it to a garage that you didn't rent it from, or take it to a repair shop and see what they can do. That's all I'll say. You know what I mean? It might cost you a couple of quid, but it might cost you, it's a lot less hassle than taking it back to the person you rent it off. Because, we own our own motorbikes, but yeah. Let's say getting around Thailand's easy, the back buses, getting on the motorbike taxis aren't for everyone, I get that, but please just don't, and make sure you get your health insurance in the UK or the States, Canada, or others than that before you come, and we use AXA, you know, one of the majors, you know, because if you get cheap insurance, it's cheap for a reason, you know what I mean? I'm at, I don't know, I think I've been to about 140 countries. I've never changed my behaviour anywhere, because as long as you're a decent person, you don't need to do anything different, and that includes Saudi and all the awkward so-called countries you might think are awkward, you know, West Africa, you know, Eastern Europe, everywhere, South America, you know, that last year where was Australia, Caribbean, I don't know, all over the place. But just be a nice person. If you're a decent person, you get on well everywhere. And just, if you're in a country, don't talk politics. I don't want to talk politics anyway. You know, the guys I've grown up with, the guys and girls I've grown up with, it's in school. I mean, there's a lot of us. I couldn't tell you who any of them vote for. I could probably guess, but we just never talk about politics. It's not that it's an unwritten rule. It's just, you know what I mean. But certainly, don't come to a country and start talking politics and religion and stuff like that. You know, but Buddhism was obviously the Thai religion here, and they don't invade many countries for their oil and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So they're nice people. The monks. I find chaplains and what's it called? You know, ministers. I find them quite intimidating. Anyway, that's just me. That's just I'm a bit around them. But even though they are good people, but it took me a bit of time to get used to go to the temple with my wife. She gets me to go, but now I go no problem. I quite enjoy the ceremony, if that's the right word. I don't know if it's the right word or not. But aye. But yeah, just be a nice person. And everyone on I'm probably, and rightly so you're just an old moany face, so there's probably a bit of that. I've been here a long time, like 20 odd years, and as I say in other videos, me and my mates that have lived here all this time, we know how, what's the right words to say, we know how to live here, and we also know that we know nothing about this country. We just, even Thais don't know how it works. It's weird, it's got its weird and wonderful ways. Excuse me. It's like all the countries around it have all been Britain or France or have owned them at some point, which is a terrible way to put it. But you can tell that Thailand's never had an authority over it. Technically, I mean, you can say the Japanese had a bit of influence during World War II, but they've got their own weird and wonderful ways, which is why we like it. You know, but just be nice and aye. But coming in, it's good a lot because I'm an old school raver. Like, you know, I mean, I wasn't quite there at the start of the rave scene in 1986. But me and my mates are second generation, so we've been there and done all that, and we still enjoy the music. You'll see I've got live sets in my bio. I think some of the stuff I do have DJed in Thailand before. I might start again soon because I've bought a new controller and all that just to get back into it. But I'll wait till I move house. But it's good to see it, because when I came here there was none of that really outside of Samui, the full moon, but it's everywhere now, and as a lot of people say, we've now got the Ibiza mob here, which is a good thing. You know, I like it. I like seeing all the young team here, because like I say, when I moved here, we moved to Pattaya 20 odd year ago, I was 12, what age was I? 29, 30, and there wasn't many young ones there at our age, but obviously over time that's came on. In fact, to be older, but there's a lot of the young team here now. Right, I've rattled on probably the most boring video you'll read, and there's absolutely nobody's got this far, but just there we go. All right, cheers.